All right. So this is definitely something that I have seen within the last day, mainly today. Um, just scrolling through Twitter, and it's I don't I don't necessarily know how I feel about it. Um, Given how we have to keep in mind Hoyoverse is a China or a Chinese centric company, and things are a little different over there compared to the rest of the world, especially with the CCP in charge, the Chinese Communist Party. The big thing is that mainly for Genshin, this is a voice actor, Junyun, who voices Yip Talk. I don't know what that is, honestly, for Genshin Impact. But, you know, initially he's saying, thank you for, putting so much dedication and hard work into Genshin Impact. It's been going on for a while. He really appreciates the team that does it. However, this is mainly in consideration with the most recent update coming out with the Natlan characters, all of them being white. And if we jump up here, there was another image. I forgot to save it. We can see here that the Quechua is an indigenous culture of Andean people in Bolivia, Peru, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, being actually represented in their game, which is cool. Here is an image of, what, like a picture of one of these individuals' indigenous cultures. And then the character they have to represent is this. It's like Casper. Casper, is that you? So a lot of backlash for Hoyoverse, and then they were saying that not a shade darker than Farina de Fontaine. Now, if we go over to what Farina actually looks like, you're gonna see that it's honestly pretty spot on. That, like, it's kind of ridiculous, honestly. Um, Here is a good representation. Now, Ororon is supposed to represent a god from one of these indigenous cultures. I forgot which one it was. Um, I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know where the thing is. I forgot to bookmark it, but he is not like this. He's a little darker. Just a side note. And it was the game kind of like League of Legends. I'm just blanking that such like all the gods and everything. Smite, I believe it's Smite, has the same iteration of that god, and he is like completely dark. He is culturally appropriate. And then like all like where's the variation? And then people are complaining about Kachina and Insan. I might be saying that wrong. How they are not dark enough. Now, it is a very common trend with Hoyoverse games to have non, colored individuals. I think is this where there was something about talking about how you try to make your game appropriate for. I think it was actually in here somewhere. That you try to, you know, cater your game to your homegrown audience, which that would be to the Chinese culture, and they make a lot of money from China. That's just here. If we go to Sensor Tower, let's go. I don't know. Let's do this. From April. Now it's mobile only, but whatever. Genshin Impact. Like they passed or in April, they made 82.5 million just from China alone, and 36 million on global, that being every other region. Now, we compare that with Honkai Star Rail, their other main game. As you can see here, a huge disparity. This is actually a really good example as well. Now, I'm not saying what they're doing is good nor wrong. I like I said, it's touchy subject. I don't really want to lean one way or the other. And then we go over here saying the Chinese and Japanese fandom actually criticize this too. This is from a bunch of voice actors and just people in the community that MiHoYo or Hoyoverse need to incorporate modern North American city culture represented by graffiti, Black American elements from the tribes of Liaobang's text. I think I butchered that. Just representing Latin American culture, African American culture, all of that. And I think that the Natlan, sphere is mainly focused on Latin America, as we saw down here with the Bolivia, Peru, Chile, Colombia, and Ecuador. And then you go and do this. So there's somewhat of a boycott going on, at least online now. Whether people are going to follow through with that or not, I don't know. About not spending money on Hoyoverse games, that being Honkai Third Impact, that being Zenless Zone Zero, that being Star Rail, that being Genshin Impact, because of this negligence. And I did see someone mention how like they have done game developing before, and how they're saying, it takes a while, it takes a lot of resources to create a character, which I agree. You might see a character in game, you might be like, oh, that's freaking awesome, good job. But the amount of time and effort that goes into animations, character design, voice lines, all of this stuff, it does take a while. But going back, okay, so I'm not necessarily saying going back and changing stuff. Maybe moving forward, having better representation. Now, with the Natlan characters, maybe since they're not even out and the region isn't even out yet, maybe do a few minor tweaks and changes, because better representation. I'm saying also moving forward, try to improve that as well, because otherwise you create a rift and a void in the community that you have spent years cultivating and growing. So I just it, not it is what it is, but they do need to make a little bit of a change.